folks, Dr. Groovy Scott Grove here. Time to show you here the Klos, very close, Apollo bass guitar. This is the Apollo Pro. They also make their standard bass guitars. Links below, you can check it out. Please do. Lots of guitars, basses, ukuleles, acoustic guitars, travel stuff, goes on and on and on. All kinds of everything actually is carbon graphite. You can tell right here on the back of the neck, up here on the little old headstock. People ask, will my tuner clamp on there? Yeah, of course it will. Speaking of the back of the headstock, we have the ratio tuners, so major upgrade going on there. Okay, we have the proprietary pickups and bridge and tuners and so forth on the regular series, but on the Pro series we got the heart of the axe, the Fishman Fluence pickups in here. Those are something that everybody wishes they had. So if you were to upgrade any axe, you would put everything on there that this has. The bridge is aluminum, nice lightweight. It's what everybody's going for, and we have the brass saddles here as well. 4 knobs. On our other ones, not as many knobs. This one here has your master volume right here. This here has a notch in the middle. It goes between the 2 pickups. Select one, other, or both. We have bass and treble. So here's your bass, here's your treble. We have a 3-way switch here. Very cool. You'll dig these here on the tone test. If you flick it up here, we have basically what sounds like your typical P-bass type of sound, something that sits real well in the mix, and I won't say cuts through because that's a whole different thing, but if you know how a P-bass sits in and really takes up its own sonic space and sticks there and is that tried and true bass tone, that's what this does. It does not do like a J bass where it is hard to get the frequencies to, you know, sit in there right. It doesn't cut through as well unless you EQ the holy bejeez out of it. The next position actually has a whole different voicing on the pickups. It's kind of a scooped mid thing, quite funky, and the last position is even funkier. So I actually go ahead and leave the bass and treble on 10 all the time, and then just go back and forth between the switches, go to my typical P-bass into 2 different funk positions and call it that. You know, the simpler the better. And little switch and go to town. Okay, again, the graphite got a nice bolt on. There's a good reason for that, and I'll tell you that in a little bit. It just simply fits in the case much better, the gig bag, which is so nice to just be able to take the neck off, put the neck in one compartment, the body in the other. With the pick guard being actually 100% carbon graphite as well, they will be offering, I don't know if they're doing it yet or not, but they're going to be offering where you can actually send the bass back to them, or just the body or what have you, and you can get another carbon graphite pick guard. Their regular series just have a plastic pick guard, but this is strong as all get out because carbon fiber, folks. And you can have different configuration of pickups, put them in different places, blah, 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 and just very cool stuff that they'll do for you. Go way out of their way. Everything is just amazing. Got a battery here. The accessibility to your ebony-like man-made material here, which will never crack or get dry or any of that kind of junk. Has 24 frets and room for more if you want. Everything about it is as groovy as you would hope for. The ash body on this, the other company the folks over at Fender and so forth, they don't do ash bodies anymore. One of their most famous things, Klos does it. All of their Pro Series axes have ash bodies. They are just too expensive for the other folks for some reason, but you get the quality here. So top notch from top to bottom. We're getting ready to do a tone test, so stick around for that. And headstock, people have asked me about that. Why so small? Instead of having a headless bass, there has the familiarity of a place to actually stop. Your hand doesn't slide off the top of the axe. So they used as minimal space as humanly possible up there. And the real estate is just crazy, man. It just takes up so little space. But again, it's so light up there with the ratio tuners and the small headstock that, I mean, it's perfect balance and no neck dive, not even thinking about it. The extended horn up here also is well thought about when considering, you know, the whole balance thing. So let's get into some tones, and I think you'll really dig this. Okay, we're going to get to some sounds. Real quick, check out the long horn here on the top. It definitely distinguishes it between this and any other model of bass out there. It's just got a simply groovier look, and that also, once you actually have this around for a few months like I have, you see that actually helps in the weight distribution, and it makes everything perfectly balanced. Again, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. It's they've thought of it all. They really have. If I didn't have to give it back, I just have to buy it, so I might just do that. Just keep it here. What we have here, this knob, is your master volume. Okay. Now, right now, with the toggle switch pushed that away, we have our basic stock sound. There's no EQ added. Everything is just flat. Okay, so it's kind of a P bass-ish sounding, even though I don't have it on just the P bass. If I did on just that pickup, again, that's nothing cut or added EQ wise. Again, in the middle, that's what the J pickup added in back in here. And this is just the first voicing. First, the J pickup alone. Okay, so that's that set. Now when we go into the middle position here, we have a whole different set of sounds. So you can actually hear the little bit of scoop on the mids. Played the other way. So it sounds like an active bass there, even though, again, nothing is boosted or cut on board. Everything's still flat. Okay, go to the first pickup. Just more presence in it. If you go to the J pickup. Okay, so we made that a lot brighter. Going back to the last switch, we have definitely more of a popper or slapper. Okay, so a lot more articulate than the others were. First pickup, the other way. Okay, now here's where things get groovy. We're going back to the first set of switches where it was kind of P bass sounding, and here's your low end. Now I'm going to cut it, boost it. How's that? That's everything vibrating on my wall, which is about 100 guitars. A string maybe. Now cut. Okay, so you got a lot going on, which you would. The jazz pickup. Oh, sorry, let me turn it actually on. Off. Okay, so groovy sounds there. It just, I'm going to turn the bass and the treble wide open and everything in the middle. So we're using both pickups. So this is, I like to leave the bass and treble on all the way and keep the pickups with both on right in the indentation for everything. That's the way I have found everything to sound the best. Okay? It's not so much once everything is, like I said, panned to the center and not one way or the other. It just sounds amazing with both pickups on all the way, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? Next position. Say totally different. Next position. Okay, so big time tones all over the flipping place. Are they all useful? Yeah, depends on song to song. Again, like I said, if you leave both pickups on, you can literally just go from usable sounds from your first position, again with the bass treble wide open. Just very usable, typical sound that actually sits in the mix very well, is not over scooped sounding, so that it actually does, like I said, sit in the mix well like a P bass would. Okay, it doesn't get lost like a jazz bass would. Okay, second position, that starts scooping some stuff. Here's the sound that you would sit at home and play because it sounds great, but when you go to play it live, unless you're actually doing major funkadelic songs, you know, you will get lost in the mix a bit. Okay. So, again, usable, yes, but you got to use it in the right place. It's time for a solo. Go at it. Or you're doing major funk music. There you go. You're already set. So if you're a J bass lover, go there. Now to go to the third position, which is just wild, I would put that up against just the most dynamic pickups there are out there, and that are the Fishman Fluence pickups. It is just crazy active sounding. Nobody else is going to have this sound, let's put it this way. So you're going to have one sound, definitely, that nobody around is going to get. Now, just when you think everything is done and cool, guess what? That was all humbucking tones. So now if you just pull out right here on the volume knob, we go to single coil and start all over. So first position, I'll just go with both pickups on, but in single coil mode. Single coil, middle position humbucker, single coil, last position humbucker, single coil. so there you get the, I mean, that thing has got some stuff going on, some hair on it. Okay, single coil with the bass and the treble maxed out on the active EQ. Okay, so those are just some of the sounds. I did not show you all the sounds in single coil with each pickup on by itself and so forth. If you were a player, you kind of see where everything's going, all right? Otherwise, it'd be a 50-minute video, which I don't mind at all, okay? So I'm going to show you something else extremely cool besides everything that's here. Again, check out the headstock on this puppy. As weird as it may seem to you, one of my favorite parts, easily. Again, it just doesn't feel like you're flying off the end of the stick and everything. It's right there. It feels familiar. Again, it's ergonomically designed to be balanced, okay? No neck dive ever. You don't have to have a 5-inch wide strap to make it grip onto your clothes and make your do not look well. You know, you spend all the money on these clothes, you don't need them falling down like this because of your strap, okay? So one more thing to show you guys, okay? Stick with me. Okay, it's gig bag time. Again, like I said, this sucker was made like NASA or something. Amazing. I'm a hard shell guy, period. But I would definitely not feel bad about leaving the axe in here and throwing it around. Really wouldn't. And of course, with the neck on it, you're not going to worry about headstock popping off. You can run over it with a Jeep and be fine. And that's literal. You can do that. I've seen such things done to carbon graphite necks, and they're not going anywhere. You're going to pop a hole in the tire before they do. Okay, this here is the one for the bass, not for the guitar. Okay, so there's an inside. It looks like a gig bag, right? Padded. Of course, you're going to stick an instrument of this value, which is, as the time of this video, we're in the middle of December of 2021. I think the basses are running right around the $1,800 mark, right around there. So definitely less than competition. And again, like I said, they have their standard version as well, which is currently at, I do believe, $1,300. Okay, and of course you just check klosguitars.com, K-L-O-S, and I'll have a link below directly to this bass, so you can check it out as well, and learn all this stuff. Okay, so you've got a place for a couple that are Velcro right here for things to keep it inside of here, secure and not be moving around, blah, blah, blah. Of course, all the stuff for hauling around on your backpack. But the thing that is cool is Klos Guitars have been designing all their instruments to be travel instruments. Even, you know, all their acoustics, their ukuleles, their other stuff, which are 100% carbon fiber and available in different colors and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, the carbon fiber on the top of the body, the back, the sides, groovy stuff, man. Check it out. What is interesting is they're not marketing these Apollo series electric instruments to be travel guitars, but they can 100% do that with ease. Both the guitar and the bass have a pouch here on the side. See that thing? That's where the neck goes. They give you the tools, a little capo that actually clamps on the first fret, so that you can just, they give you even the tool. You can put it on your, do it manually or put it on your drill or whatever to actually just pop the neck off like that. And you can just put the neck right in there. Put the body in here, and then it does the fold over thing, and it Velcros to itself. Everything is nice and tidy, and it will, even the bass, go in an overhead compartment. Okay, and it's, like I said, they told me that it's not designed to be such, but when they have the pouch on there for the neck, and it's just that groovy, you can take it off. You know, so that's not flopping around. It's on here, easy enough to be able to take off. But how cool, huh? So, monster gig bag. And again, if I would had my choice, like I do, to stick it in a hard shell or one of these, I myself will always choose a hard shell or a flight case. But I have zero problems putting it in here compared to all the other ones I get from the big manufacturers. They just went the extra step, just like they did with all the electronics and the hardware and everything else on the Pro series. So once again, Dr. Groovy Scott Grove here, not on behalf of, but in support of Klos Guitars. Again, that's the Apollo series. Check down below and the very first pinned comment, and that'll take you directly to the page for the Apollo Pro bass. Okay, check those out. Check out the proprietary stuff that they make there with all their own components, and check out everything else on the site. You'll be pleasantly surprised. You guys stay groovy. I always am, and I'm out of here. Later.
Groovy!